welcome. A very good morning. Could we all mute ourselves, please, so that there's no background noise? And very welcome to Kaushalya UK's first entrepreneurial meeting. And just an introduction first on who Kaushalya is, why do we do what we do. Kaushalya UK is a community interest company, and it is dedicated to empowering and uplifting women. Somebody's mic is still on. Could we please mute our mics, all of us, if that's okay? Thank you. Right. So Kaushalya UK is dedicated to empowering and uplifting women, bringing women together from all walks of life. And thankfully, we are not restricted by any cultural obligations, any racial boundaries, or any other form of boundaries, really. The idea is to bring women together from all walks of life, all cultures, all beliefs, all ethnicities, and bring them together for the betterment. And what I have understood from my journey so far is that we become better ourselves when we uplift others. So this is a platform to do just that. So we all come together, we all bring our skill sets in, we all bring our fabulous, understandings, learnings of life, and we share it with everybody so that they can benefit from it as well. So I'm Ritu Sharma, and I'm the founder and one of the directors of Kaushalya UK, and I am thoroughly, wholeheartedly dedicated to doing this work. I wear two hats, one's for my organization, under which I bring women together and we do this community work, and the intention is service. And my other hat is that of an entrepreneur, where I still work predominantly with women, and I help them create their effective business messages. That is to do with public speaking and relaying an effective business message. Today, I wear the hat of Kaushalya UK's director and a representative as well. So why entrepreneurship? Why do we emphasize on one of the aims of Kaushalya UK is to promote entrepreneurship in women. And that is because entrepreneurship, if you look at the dictionary meaning, now I do visit dictionary quite a lot because I was a teacher by profession for the first 20 years of my working life. Sharon, could you please mute your mic? I think it's my own voice echoing in there. Thank you. Yeah, that's better. Thank you very much. So why entrepreneurship? So entrepreneurship, because entrepreneur, the dictionary meaning is simply that somebody who's ready to take a risk in hope of making a profit. But we all know from all the wonderful ladies who are into entrepreneurship already that entrepreneurship is not just about hope of making a profit. It's not just about money. It's the passion that we carry in our hearts while we do that. And most of us, all the entrepreneurs I have personally met so far, are driven by a dream, by a thought, by a passion, something that they really, really believe in. It does not matter what industry you're working in. It does not matter what your idea of entrepreneurship is. It is driven through passion, and that is what I really appreciate, and the motivation. And you don't just motivate yourself when you're an entrepreneur, you're kind of setting an example for others to look up to and follow as well. And that's how I came into entrepreneurship, and I really believe that holding meetings like this is only going to create the wave, make the wave bigger and better, and help other people realize that what their dreams are. Because human nature, for whatever reason, we inherently programmed like this, and when we see someone succeeding, when we see someone doing great, we think, oh, she can do that, so can I. And I very much believe that when we put out examples, positive examples of role models who have done it or who are doing it successfully, that's a shout out to everybody else who's been dreaming about it but has not been able to gather the courage for whatever reasons so far to do it. And I believe we're giving them wings when we're coming together like this and we're showcasing what we do, what we believe in. Why do we do that? And that is the reason why Kaushalya UK promotes entrepreneurship in women so thoroughly, so at a large scale. And it's about economic growth and innovation. If you look at the stats, women entrepreneurs are contributing quite a bit into the economic growth of the world at the moment as well, which is another laurel we can be proud of. And so that's a little bit about myself and the organization Kaushalya UK. And Kaushalya UK runs events all year round. Before the lockdown happened, we were doing live events, and we are due 2 social events, which is bringing all the women together, having dancing, drinking, making merry, food, and seeing each other blinged up, dressed up, just having loads of fun. We do that twice a year. We've not done any this year so far, but God willing, we will do 2 of them whenever we're okay to do them soon. So apart from that, we do workshops, speaking seminars, which we are planning to do soon. And that's something I'll also tell you about in the middle of this whole thing when it's my turn to talk, maybe at the end of it. But I think I am ready to let us start. So Audrey, I'm going to mute myself. Please unmute your mic and you can start your talk.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Audrey Scully, and I'm a transformational mentor, healer, and speaker. And I'd like to say thank you so much, Rita, for inviting us all on here, and the great work that you and your charity are doing. Can everybody hear me?
Audrey, we can, but it's not very clear. It was crackling a bit, so could you sort that out, please?
Yeah, saying something wrong with my mic.
That's better.
Is that better?
That's better, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, thank you. So I'm here today to speak a bit about the work I do and how I've understood this right, Ritu, how I've coped during this. I call it a planetary reboot, and I've seen it as a holiday, even though I was more busy than I was before with doing different things. And so years ago, I want to go back to why I do this. And years ago, I was in church. I was a Catholic, and suddenly I had this thought: there's got to be more to life than, no disrespect to religion, than coming here every week, singing the same hymns, saying the same prayers, seeing the same people. That was a thought I had. It came out from nowhere, and suddenly this whole new world opened up for me, and I learned how to meditate. I was aware of what we can actually all do, all our senses, to be able to spiritually see, feel, smell. There's more to us than just the physical part, as many of you know. And through a friend dying, it led me to explore all this, and was that my intention. And I was just at a workshop, they were doing healing on someone, and suddenly my hands got on fire, and my friend's hands were on fire too, and that's how I accessed the healing. And me being me, I'm like, oh, let me put my hands on you. So I went down this route of doing Reiki, reflexology, chi reflexology, doing massage. And as I was doing that, I realized that I was helping people more, because through these treatments, I was helping them to release their anger, things that upset them, finding out a lot about how we hold things in our body. So anything that happens to us, good or bad, we can store it in our body. And if we don't release the unwanted emotions, so things like, that could have happened from being a child, then it can manifest mentally, physically, emotionally, or spiritually. And I found a lot of people who came to me for massages, their lower back stuff was all about their security, what was happening to them. So I then developed, learned how to release and let go. And from that, I'm now in this stage of, as I call it, being a transformational healer. And through the shutdown, what I wanted long term was doing the physical treatments, but eventually slowing that down. Okay. Slowing that down to see if, can you hear all right? Yeah.
Audrey, it still crackled a bit while you were talking, but
yeah, it's saying my speaker's not working properly. I don't know really what to do about that. How's that now?
it's on and off kind of a thing. It gets better, then it goes back, then it gets better again. That's how it's been.
Sorry about this. So anyway, so my long-term aim was to slow down the physical therapies and do more online work so I can reach more people, especially people around the world. And this is what lockdown has enabled me to do, is to do, obviously we're all doing the online stuff, which is amazing. And it's more accessible to lots of people. And I am currently doing a new sort of healing training, which is just, I think, amazing and so quick. And what I love about the work I do is that a lot of people want help to release their grief, to release their sorrow, release their anger. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about, what's caused it, why and when and how and where. And the work I do is, I love it because you don't have to. I don't need to know what it is that's caused all your stuff, I just tap into how you're feeling about it and help you to release it. And the more people I work on, I help, it's always amazed me, even from the first day I got my, the healing through my hands, still amazes me now how people, and it's not me I'm helping them to help themselves, and how powerful we all are at releasing and letting go and healing ourselves. And the beauty of it is, people who have, certain conditions, well, any condition really, can really help. We have, so I'm co-founder of a tribe who's it's teaching people to live from our hearts. So basically, we're helping people to get out of their heads, get out of your head and get into your heart. And we all do that, don't we? We're all in our heads and go, oh, we've got this to do, we've got that to do. How's my daughter? How's this? How's that person? And we worry about them. And it's what I love is how I can advise people that they are better. It's more helpful how they can help other people and how they can help the people they're worried about. So I just ask them to send them love. What would you prefer to do? Worry about somebody? What does worry do? It makes you anxious, gives you headaches, you don't feel well, it releases all the cortisols, all the stress hormones. However, if you go into your heart and you send that person love, that is helping your dopamines, your endorphins, but also you are more helpful doing that, not only to the person you're sending love to, but to yourself as well. And that is just such a powerful thing to do, and we can all do it. So it's like, so I say, well, what would you prefer, worry or send somebody love? Because love is a very powerful healer, as we all know. So that's what at the present moment I'm doing. I'm still doing my therapies, and it's so lovely that I can do my reflexology again. But yeah, the long-term goal is that, and it comes back again to serving. I think we all, who wants to serve other people, who wants to help other people. How many of you here? Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, and that's what it's all about, us serving. And I just feel so joyful and wonderful, that and honoured and humbled that I can do this. and you were all doing it. You know, people say like, well, I'm not a healer, I'm not a healer. Just by smiling at somebody, just by talking to somebody, you're healing them. I have my sister, so in this group that I'm in, my sister came on it. So I just want to say, just briefly say this. You'll have to tell me when the 10 minutes is up, Ritu. I asked God, I said to God, I haven't got a spiritual mentor, please send me one. And this man appeared in my life who actually said, I'm a business person, I'm a healer, but I don't tell anyone. Then I was watching him on Facebook Live and he was telling people he was a healer. Anyway, cut long story short, I went to one of his retreats and it was so powerful. And I thought, okay, this is the man, thank you God for sending him to me. And anyway, my sister, she's very high up in the European Commission. She's retired now. And she's actually joined the group. I didn't even know she was going to join. And she was saying like, well, I don't know if I can do this healing because I'm not sure if I'm a healer. And now she's become an amazing healer, absolutely amazing. And it's just so humble. I just feel humbled and honoured that she's in, because I'm the one who's like airy-fairy and does all this stuff, and she's the one who's the sensible one, you know. So when people say, you're doing this, and she's going like, yes. And what's great is like she's out there telling everybody, you know. And then another of our sisters joined our group. So basically we're just wanting people to come and, you know, if you want to serve, if you want to raise your spiritual awareness, if you want to help mankind, because every Monday we do a healing session. So if anybody wants healing or wants to be part of the group, yes, please let me know.
Absolutely. Brilliant.
A minute up.
Yeah, and you know what? There were so many smiles and nodding going on when you were talking, and there's that level of understanding, you know, people have about, because maybe I was of the belief basically that, you know, not many people get this, you know, when you talk about sending love and healing through love, and because I didn't know, a few years ago, if somebody asked me, I was a totally, you know, different person and did not understand any of this, but there was lots of smiles going around and lots of nodding going on, which, you know, was obviously a confirmation of what you do and, you know, how appreciated that is. So thank you ever so much, Audrey. Thank you so much. So yeah, round of applause, even if it's a quiet one. Thank you, Audrey. So if anybody has any questions for Audrey, we can save them for the end, please. And we move on to Rajni Rana, please. Rajni, over to you.
Hello, hi everyone. Is my mic working, Ritu? Yeah, okay, cool. Firstly, I'd like to say thank you, because, you know, listening to Audrey, listening to Ritu, you know, there's so many good people out there, and there was a time when I thought there wasn't, so I really appreciate that. Also, I appreciate Ritu giving me the 10 minutes. That's a big thing for me. Because this is the first time, so bear with me. So I'm a bit nervous, so yeah. But yeah, so I'll just introduce myself briefly. My name's Raj Rana. I have 3 boys, a 20-year-old and a 15-year-old and a 13-year-old. And used to work in the banking sector about 20 years. Also had my own businesses as well, with my husband, and a clothes shop as well with my sister-in-law. So I have been part of women's groups before. I was on a committee for Asian women in Dudley. So we would look after, you know, and help a lot of women, and also get confidence ourselves in other areas. So I'm just going to quickly, Ritu, is it okay if I can share my screen?
Can you do that? Yeah, that's fine. Carry on.
Okay. I don't know if, can you guys see this?
No, I think I'll have to make you the host, Raj, and that's how it's going to work. Yeah. So I'm going to make you the host for the meanwhile. Okay.
Okay.
Here we are.
Can you guys see what I'm on?
No.
No? Oh.
You will now. You'll be able to share now.
Okay. So can you see it now? Or still no, Ritu?
So are you doing share screen? The green button on the bottom, are you doing that?
Okay, let me, oh, I'm not very technical, so
Neither am I. It's okay, don't worry about that.
let me try and find where.
There's a green button, like with a box and a square going up, that says share screen. It should be at the bottom in the middle of your screen.
Perfect, thank you.
And then you click on what screen you want to share, and then it should, there we go. There you go, you've done it.
Super.
Okay. Ritu, it's Purvi's trying to be admitted. Can I admit her to the room?
Yes, please. Admit anybody who comes in, yeah. Please.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Tracy.
Okay, sorry about that. I'll just quickly play this so you get to know me a little bit from this. It's only 30 seconds. Okay, so the reason why I do what I do now is because I think it's really important to have a reason why, and all of our reason whys are important to each of us. So I lost my husband about nearly 7 years ago, and I was in a really, really, really bad place. Like for 2 years, I was suicidal. And one of the days, my son, because my 3 boys were very, very low, very depressed. And I said to my oldest, I said, you know, we've had good memories with your dad and this and that, and you need to smile and you need to dance and you need to be happy and stuff like that. And he was like, Mum, I'm just doing what you're doing. So that was the day I clicked and I thought, okay, I'm the role model for my 3 boys. Whatever I set as an example, you know, that's what they're going to follow. So my main reason for doing what I do is that even in their darkest times, they've got to think, no, my mum was strong and, you know, she's come through it. And now, you know, we can do the same. So that's, and because I'm a big believer of actions speaks louder than words. So I'm just going to play a video of what I actually do. So I'm hoping you can still see my screen. Okay. Oops. Okay. Got to do it again, haven't I?
Yeah, you've got to click on what you want to share again. So click.
I'm learning from you. It's good we're learning from each other. Oh, next time hopefully I'll be able to do it properly.
There you go.
Sorry. So, okay, that's it.
Have you ever felt like you were meant for more? Do more, be more, become more. Maybe you're just tired of the daily routine, feel stuck, or maybe you're just looking for something different. Well, imagine having the opportunity to work from home through your very own online business. An opportunity where you can participate and get paid on some of the largest and fastest growing industries in the world. Industries such as energy, mobile phone, travel, insurance, home care cover, web development, search engine optimization, financial trading education, and health and nutrition. These industries combined exceed trillions of pounds annually, and now, thanks to Nexarise, you can be a part of it. Nexarise is a new innovative opportunity which allows you to make money on your terms from the essential products and services that people need, want, and use, month after month, year after year. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be ahead of the curve, being able to partner up with a new sterling company who has a vision for global expansion? Rather than being a one-hit wonder, Nexarise has collaborated with some of the world's most sought-after industries, giving you an unlimited opportunity for growth. How is this possible? Most companies spend millions of pounds on traditional marketing to attract new customers and to keep the ones that they already have. Instead, Nexarise partners up with people just like you, going directly to the consumer and cutting out the traditional costs associated with acquiring customers. resulting in more choices for consumers and a remarkable business opportunity for you. Think of it as your very own virtual online business, where Nexarise eliminates all the traditional costs that comes with running a business, so you can focus on what matters the most. With more and more people now actively looking for additional income options, there has never been a better time to become an entrepreneur. Just imagine how different your life could be with residual income. And now you can make it happen. It's time to rise with Nexarise.
Okay, so that's the project that I'm working on, and I'd just love to connect with everybody. It'd be good. If I can help in any way, then please let me know. And I think it's a win-win if we can all support each other. Lovely talking to you guys, and can't wait to hear about everybody else as well. And Audrey, I really connected with what you were saying, because I've been through that, and that has really helped me with my personal growth. And there's always more to learn as well, isn't there? So yeah, thank you Ritu, for the time.
You're very welcome, Raj. That was lovely. Thank you very much. And yes, kids definitely look up to us, as you were saying, and what you've gone through. And I suppose all of us have been through one, story or the other, and therefore we are who we are. Audrey has, I know Suman has, I have, Jenny has, and I know quite a few ladies who have, and gents, and that is what kind of, we get a kick on the backside, don't we? Because we are more than what we start to believe we are, who we start to believe and think we are. And it's the adversity that brings the best out in us. And anybody doing something like Audrey's doing, yourself, and I was saying earlier, entrepreneurship is about, passion, and it's great what you're doing. You're not just helping yourself, you're also helping other people to make an income. So thank you very much. Raj, would you like to tell people how they can connect with you? Please.
I'll just put my name on name and number, sorry, on the Kaushalya chat, if that's okay.
That's fine. I was going to say to everybody who's present here as well that we do have a WhatsApp group. So if you're happy, you can, text me individually, or if you don't mind, here if you like. And then if you want to be included in the WhatsApp group, we'd be happy to do that. It's always good to stay connected. Right, we're not going to... Thank you, Raj. You can make me the host back, please.
Oh, how do I do that?
Just go on my picture, and on the side, you'll see 3 dots. So click on that. There's a drop down, right? And it tells you...
Oh, yeah, make host.
Make host, yeah.
Perfect. Learning. Thank you.
Okay, Sunita, lovely. Sunita, I'll put my number in here as well for those who haven't got it on the chat, and they can message me directly. That would be easiest, I suppose. There. Right. We've got another Rajni on the call today, and that's Rajni with a red top. Rajni, do you need to share any screens, or are you just going to talk?
Well, I'll just talk, and I got my leaflet as well. I can show you.
Over to you.
Okay. Thank you, Audrey. Thanks, Rajni, and sorry to hear about your loss. I can understand, it's very big loss. We can't do anything, but yeah, we still have to go with this. So, hi ladies, my name is Rajni, and I was a nurse in India 20 years ago. 18 years ago, I came in this country. I never go back in my field. I was missing my nursing and helping people. So I was quite upset on those days because I couldn't help anybody. Then I decided to do something here, new courses or something. And one day I was just praying to God, and I was wishing I can do something for people. I can heal people like this and that. And that was an amazing day for me. On the same day, I found something on Facebook, and someone giving like a training online, and you can go to them as well, because I was nurse. I was knew all the things about our whole body. And then from that day till today, I'm doing auricular therapy. Maybe you heard or not, I don't know. It's like air therapy. This is very, very good, very effective therapy. Like we got this air It's like acupressure. We do acupressure on our hands and our feet. Well, when we do on our hands and feet, it gives you like light effect, or sometimes you don't get any effect from that. But when we do something on the ear, because this is next to our brain, and this is gives you quick message to your brain. We'll get people having good result about this. This is can help you for anything like migraine, sciatica, headache, back pain, depression, addiction, mental health, tennis elbow, neck pain, whatever. So whatever people got problem, we can sort it out with this thing. And I am auricular therapist, I'm color therapist. If somebody live far, they can't come to me, they can ask me on the phone, we got this and that problem. And sometimes people coming calling me from India, like my family friends or friends, they got some problems, and I'm telling them you can do just a stimulation on the ear, and sometimes they get relief with that. Sometimes I'm telling them you can do acupressure on your hands, and you can use this like small seeds and Asian balls, you know, that is like very small seeds, so you can apply on your fingers, it's on the joint pain or whatever you got problem, and it's particular points on our hands and our feet on our ear as well. What I'm doing these days, this is more effective. This is called auricular seeds, and auricular is a flower, and you can see little spots, black spots, and this is sticky tape. But what I do just a stimulation with this pen on the ear, whatever people got problem is according to the disease, problems, whatever is it. And I just give just few seconds stimulation, 1 to 2 seconds, and then I put this treatment on. It's not piercing your skin, it's not medicine in there, it's not drug, it's no injection, it's nothing like that. And no side effect, it's 100%, it's we can say no side effect, is 100% safe. You can take your medicine, whatever you're taking, and you can have this treatment as well. If you have just external pain, like a neck pain, shoulder pain, or back pain, you don't need to take any medicine with this, because you can get relief within a few minutes. Sometimes people having relief within a few minutes, sometimes it takes about 1 hour, 2 hours. Very rare cases, people having effect in few days. So yes, definitely we should try this alternative treatment, because it's not side effect, it's 100% safe. I'll give you an example. Somebody came to me last week, and the man was, he came from a bit far. Somebody from his family, she had the treatment for migraine from me, and she told him, he can come to me and can try this treatment. And he's having Parkinson, and his neck is keep shaking all the time, and he can't lift his neck up. His neck is always like this, and it's on one side. And they rang me, they said, I have this and that problem. Can this help this treatment? I said, you can try, no guarantee. You can try this treatment. If it's a help, then I'll be very happy. And they said, yes, we want to try this treatment. They came to me, I gave him treatment. And when I saw him, I was thinking in my mind, oh, I never seen like this. I never treated this patient before, so I don't know he'll be help or not. Then I said, maybe this will help, so let's try. And he was very happy as well. He allowed me to give this treatment on him. And last week, after 10 days, he rang me back. He goes, I'm very happy. I want to let you know your treatment is affecting on me. Before he couldn't lie on the pillow, now he can go sleep on the pillow, and he's had no shaking anymore in the night time. Daytime is shaking, but less. And his wife, she told me, she said, yeah, I believe this treatment is very effective. And day before yesterday, they came to see me for next session. When I opened the door and I saw him, I started crying, because he was standing very straight. Before, his neck was like this, and he was keep shaking, and he was standing very straight. His neck was very straight. He's not shaking anymore. And I said, wow. I was so happy to see him like that condition, and he was so happy as well. And his eyes was tearing as well. He goes, yeah, you helped me. I was taking this and that medicine and nothing helped me. And I've been to physiotherapy as well. And I was thinking my life will go with this now. But this is small treatment, small thing is affected me. And they had a second treatment. So let's see his wife was saying, I can say he's cured 70 to 80% and 20 to 30%. So let's see another session, which is having. I'll give
it is, Rajni, it is effective. And I know my voice is going in your... Yeah, I had a treatment of Rajni as well. My neck normally takes... Rajni, could you mute your mic because it's echoing otherwise, please? Thank you. So yeah, I had my neck issue, and my neck goes really stiff from here, like the back, shoulders, and right. It's almost as if I can't move. So Rajni gave me a treatment, and it took a couple of days, but considering how bad it was, it did get better. So thank you for that, Rajni. Thank you very much. So you want to tell people how they can connect with you, please?
Oh yes, you can connect me with my I got Facebook page as well, and you can see my feedback over there, and you can connect me on WhatsApp as well if you people live far and you got a very like a problem, back problem, neck problem, or you got any disease. Some people having diabetic or this and that. So yes, I can help them as well on the phone as well. It's not a necessity if you live far, you can't treat yourself. We can treat ourselves when we're sitting home as well.
Do you want to put your number on the chat, Rajni, so people can connect with you if they want to?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay, lovely, lovely. And also your Facebook page's name, please.
Yes, I don't know how to do now because I'm very new for these things. So I don't know how to do this. You want me to go on the
Go on the bottom, it says chat. So click on that and just put your number in there. Okay, lovely. And can you mute yourself, please, because I'm echoing in here. Thank you, Rajni. Thank you very much for that. Thanks a lot. Next, we've got Jenny. Jenny, you muted. Unmute yourself and rock on.
Can you make me a host so I can share my screen, please?
Sure, sure. Here you go, darling.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Move that, do that, start here. Okay, so everybody knows that stress left unmanaged can show up and affect both our physical and our mental health. This can show up as headaches, fatigue, stomach pains, brain fog, weight gain, to name just a few. So my name is Jenny Harris, and my business is Happy Body, Happy Life. And I help women in business just like you to show up in your bodies, feeling good, looking great in your businesses and your lives every single day as the best version of yourself. I do this using a simple to follow nutritional system that I am so confident will work for you. It comes with a full 30-day money-back guarantee. So that's just a little bit about me. Let me tell you why I do what I do. So my background is in policing. I was a police officer for 27 years, and I retired from policing back in November of 2014. I retired as, I've done a lot of time, quite literally, done a lot of time, and I had always been of service to people. However, I'd always wanted my own business, and I'm no Mark Zuckerberg, definitely not the guy that made Tesla, whose name has just gone straight out of my head, Elon Musk, definitely not him. So I took the path of least resistance, used my height and my communication skills and went into policing. I left, and I will always be grateful to policing, not only for the skills that I learned that have helped mold me into the person I am today in terms of resilience and just having that can-do attitude, but I met my husband when I was a police officer. And I have two gorgeous boys who are 20 and 22 years old. So I say I help women, and I particularly work with women. I decided that was going to be my niche market because I resonate with women, and in terms of the we have, definitely resonate more with women. So how do I do it? I said I use a simple to follow system, and we have solutions for everything there, scientifically tested, and it's the best of nature and science married together to give you an incredible result. So we can replace 2 meals, but it all depends on what it is that you want, but that's just a visual. So why do I do it? So this was me back in 2017. As a result of a couple of knee surgeries and a problem with my back, I gained a significant amount of weight. Now, I'd never been overweight. That had never been an issue that I'd had in my life. Even when I had my boys, I'd never struggled with my weight. But I was the wrong side of 50. I was tired, I was exhausted, and I had an accumulation of issues that had gone wrong, and they'd all come down from sport. I used to run half marathons, I used to play netball, play squash, all quite dynamic activities. And when you're younger, you think you're invincible, and nobody tells you about the damage that you're building up in your knees, in my case, and how it's going to show up in later life to impact you. So I gained a lot of weight. And a friend of mine reached out to me in April of 2017 because I'd started this journey, having come back, and let me just go back a little tiny bit. So to February of 2017, I was actually packing to go to Las Vegas. I was going to a conference called the Most Powerful Women in Network Marketing. And I was packing, it was February, the event was the 2nd to the 5th of March, and I was packing to leave on the 28th of February. And my husband said to me, "Jenny, I thought you were going to Vegas." I said, "I am." He said, "So why are you packing jumpers and leggings and Ugg boots?" And I said, "Because I'm going away." And he said, "But it's in the middle of the desert. If you're going to Vegas, it's going to be hot." So I was like, okay. So I went back to my wardrobe, got out my summer clothes I'd only put away a few months before, and absolutely nothing fit. And I'd packed on a few pounds over Christmas and hadn't got rid of them. So I was already feeling not great about myself. And my husband said, "Don't worry about it." I sat on my bed and cried. He said, "Don't worry about it. Go and buy some new stuff tomorrow, just a few bits to take with you to Vegas, and then deal with it when you get back." And I can honestly say, if you are friends with me on Facebook, you will see that I take pictures and selfies all the time. But you won't find any pictures from that trip in 2017 when I went to Vegas, because I just did not feel good about myself. So I came back, so we fast forward back to April 2017, and a friend of mine reached out to me because I'd started to put on Facebook that I was going back to the gym and all the things I was trying to do. And she said, "Look, there's something coming to the UK that I think you'd be really interested in." And I said, no, I can do this by myself. You know, I'm going to go to the slimming club, or I'm going to eat less of this and more of that and blah, blah, blah. And she said, "Okay." And then she called me again the following day. And she did that 4 times because she knew that I needed help. And I started on this journey, and I started on May the 20th, 2017, and by September the 9th in 2017, I'd released 46 pounds. So this is what I look like now. I thank you. This is what I look like now. And the best part about it was not only did I lose this weight, I say lose it, released it because I don't want to find it again. But my energy levels went up. I'm going to be 55 years old in September. I feel the best I have felt in years, certainly better than I did in my 40s when I was starting the menopause. I have more energy. I sleep like a baby. Sleep was a real issue for me. I used to wake up every single hour of every single night, and I did that for about 5 years. So in the day, I was exhausted. I literally felt like I was dragging my body around every single day. If I sat down for more than 5 minutes, I would fall asleep. That's not the case now. So I feel great. And also, when I say I help people, I also can help people make money from their phone. And as a result, I am one of the UK founders. I am one of the UK executives. I rose to the top of the company in my first week. I worked really hard to do that, and I'm really proud of what I've achieved to date. So Ritu wanted us to talk about some of the struggles that we've had during lockdown, or whatever name we want to give it, and some of our wins. So initially, when we went into lockdown, one of my main struggles was that people started to hang on really tightly to their purse strings and wanted not to part with any cash. And I could understand why, People were insecure. They didn't know when they were going to get paid. People were going into furlough. Didn't know if they were going to be made redundant. So there was a lot of issues, and people were very concerned, and rightly so. And I understood that. So people weren't parting with their money. But what did I do? I stayed visible. I stayed present. I still talked to people. I still shared what I was doing. And I did 30 days of walking. So I walked with my dog every day. I did a live video every day and showed people what I was doing. And some of my wins that have come out of that is that as time progressed, the government, as we learn more about this virus, the government started to tell us that there were certain communities that were more at risk if they got the virus. And the BAME community was one of them. And being a black woman myself and having black people in my network and Asian people and people of different colours in my network, they started to reach out to me because now they were concerned. They were concerned about the fact that if they did get COVID, that because of the state that they were in, or so they felt, that they would put themselves more at risk. And it became more and more apparent. And then they talked about, so they talked about weight, they talked about our colour, they talked about those things packaged together just made us more vulnerable. So in terms of COVID-19 and my business, that was a win for me because people who now started to feel they were getting their money from their furlough, they were a little bit more comfortable, they reached out and started to ask me more about what it was that I did and how I could help them. So my initial struggles then turned into wins because as a result, compared to 2018, 2019, my business has grown by over 700%. And I'm really happy about that. And that's purely because of the information that the media put out, but the fact that I stayed visible. So that's what, that would be one of my tips. So my business has always been online. So I know a lot of people have started to take their business online. My business has predominantly been online because my business is a global business. We launched into 12 other countries yesterday. I couldn't do that if my business was a face-to-face business. So my business has always been online. I've always serviced people online. I've got strategies and things in place to support my clients online. But I also do face-to-face stuff as well. If people live local to me, I am more than happy to meet them face-to-face. But not at the moment, not while COVID's on. But for me, being online is a win for me. So my top 3 tips for you today are be visible, okay? There's lots of ways, and I think Audrey touched on it in the beginning. We can reach so many people by being online. And I was stunned at just how many people weren't online, even big businesses who have now taken a big chunk of their business now online, and they were relying on footfall in businesses. I totally get that, and I'm all for saving our high street, but you can reach so many more people and access so many more people. And part of my job is to educate people. It isn't just about sales. It isn't just about having people in my business working alongside me. It's about educating the masses, because we are, and this is going to stun you, I'm going to share 2 facts with you. Firstly, we are the most overfed yet undernourished generation has ever been in terms of what we consume. And also, did you know that the average adult, I'm just talking averages now, should be consuming 5.6 kilograms of fruit and vegetables per week to remain healthy? How many people on this call are eating or consuming 5.6 kilograms of fruit and vegetables per week? How many? I don't imagine there's many people. Many people weren't even having 5. But the reason the government changed it from 5 pieces of fruit 5 pieces of fruit and vegetables per day was because at that time that was right. But our food is so processed, over farmed now, that we do not get the nourishment and the nutrients from what we consume now. And just going back a little bit further, when I was growing up, really a long time ago, 1 orange that I would have then, to get the same nutrients from an orange now, I'd have to consume 8 to get the same nutrients that I would get 30 years ago. That is how badly depleted our food is. When you think about it, we have food all year round, strawberries, bananas, mangoes, we can access them all the time. And before, we used to be able to access our food seasonally. And there's a reason for that. So when you think about it, there is something happening to our food. For us, it's being picked early, so it doesn't have the nutrition in it that our bodies need. And we need those nutrition for our cells to be at their best. So what we put in, we radiate out, and our bodies will definitely thank you for it when you do it right. So learn new skills, super quick, you know, anything new that you can learn. I don't mean learn a new language, but learn how to use Zoom, learn how to communicate effectively with other people on different platforms, join different groups. And I don't mean just go join any group, join a group with people that you have something in common with. Because if you just go into a group where you don't have any commonalities, it's a waste of your time and you're not going to be active in the group. So join a group, learn some new skills, and genuinely connect with people. And connect with people for the right reasons, not because you want to sell them something. Connect with them because you genuinely want to serve, you genuinely want to help them, you genuinely want to support them. And they don't have to be your customer, but they might recommend you to somebody else.
Yeah, and you know, as you say, as we connect with, as I was saying earlier to Audrey as well, when we connect with other people as well, when Audrey said it, it's always, you never know, you've got to keep talking about what you do, what you believe in, and you never know, you'd connect with like-minded people wherever, and you can't, sometimes it's so unexpected, Jenny. Sometimes you're not even expecting to see or meet someone, and it's happened to me. And I'm sure it's happened to everybody else as well, over time, over and over again, where we've bumped into people and you least expected to be there at the same place in the same time as well. So, yeah, it's great what you've said, learning new skills, learning how to take a screenshot of a Zoom call as well. That's one thing I'm focusing on right now. So that's your 10 minutes, Jenny, a little bit over if that's okay.
Yeah, so for the first 5 people that type into the chat box, me, I'm offering a free 30-minute one-to-one lifestyle consultation on Zoom or on the phone for the first 5 people. So if you don't want to do that, you just want to connect with me to have a chat, and there's my diary, there's my email, there's my contact number. Take a screenshot if you can of the screen, and also I will pop my details in the chat box so that you can access those afterwards. Thank you for this platform, and thank you everybody for listening.
Amazing. Thank you, Jenny. Can you make me the host back, please? And yes, Jenny is wonderful at what she does. You can tell probably from listening to her how driven she is and how motivated she is. And the results, oh my God, Jenny looks sexy in that blue dress. Not that you don't look sexy otherwise, but I love your smile. I love your selfies and your pictures that you put on Facebook, on your page as well. That's brilliant. And I am trying this out, by the way, ladies, because I was so inspired by what Jenny was putting out that I got to give it a go. You know, that bulge that comes out in lockdown. We'll try and tame that maybe. So I am on it, and Jenny's been absolutely fantastic, explaining how it works and, you know, what you need to do, etc. She's great at what she does. So thank you very much, Jenny. That was fantastic. And next we have Shayna. Shayna, I can't see you, Shayna. You
yes, I'm here.
Yeah, I can see you now. Lovely. So over to you, Shayna.
Thank you. And if you can make me host, please, I would love to share with you.
Sure. Can I just say in the meanwhile, if somebody's in the waiting room, you know, waiting to be admitted, could you do that as you go along? Yeah. I'll make you the host now.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So can I start?
Yes, definitely, lovely. You're on.
Thank you, thank you. Hello, everyone. Hello, beautiful, wonderful women. And I've been really enjoying to hear all your stories, all your really the projects that helped you to go from the difficult situation, yes, when we have this. And my name is Shayna, and the surname that I put is Love, and this is because Shayna translating the burning heart of love. And this name been given to me and initiated by my teachers that I've been blessed to find 5 years ago. when I came to England from Ukraine, from the Russian country, and for me it was very, very difficult to find here the job, the people, so I not had any contacts at all, only my husband, who is English, and my daughter. So we came here like strangers, but I love this country so much. And I loved also how people like smiling to each other. Yes, in our country, we will not see on the street who, you know, smiling to you, welcoming you. And what I saw that in England was a little bit not enough feminine energy. And when I've been working, for example, in the local shop, I felt that I'm leaving something, you know, behind, that I could do something bigger. And I felt from childhood that I've been born for something bigger. And then in my life came the amazing book that I will share as well if you wish, this book called After Death. And from beginning it can seem a little bit, you know, weird, but when you read in it, when I found like almost all my spiritual questions as well, why we are here on this earth, why we live in this, why we're struggling. And of course I've been also in a lot of struggles, why I have been searching for spirituality, for something bigger. And then I went for this seminar with the International Charitable Movement, My Field of Love, that I will show you in a couple minutes what they're doing and how they're helping for the world. And I see that some of you already have been on the meditation that I've been providing as well in one of our beautiful readers events that we so miss already. We want to meet in real, you know, to hug each other, to dance especially. Yes, for women it's very important. And from beginning, I was not, you know, so positive, so confident about everything that I do. But my teachers helped me with ancient methods that really, really quickly, you know, changing our state, changing our perspective in mind as well. So it's helping every day, you know, to stand up in a positive way and to do something good for this world as well. So I'm part right now of the International Charitable Movement that I will share for you from the screen. And this is exactly what our movement doing and what I'm part already for 4 years. So please watch this beautiful video. And it's also helping us to understand, of course, the what's happening in the world, yes, and how we can be part of something bigger, how we can help in these situations that you will see as well in the picture. introduction with what we are helping, and our tutors from my field of love always, when they doing seminars, when they doing individual help, they always like, it's not only you know, like we come into different countries to provide seminars, it's very big also like future development for helping in all these projects. And I know that Audrey as well feeling this very much, yes, because we also like, when we feel this compassion, when we feel this love to all these people, to all the human beings that around us, it's totally different perspective opening for us as well. Yes, thank you so much. And I've been also very surprised how we can be part of something like this. Yes, we are a small human being, yes, in this big, big, huge world. But when we come in together, when we inspiring each other, when we, for example, meeting on such meetings as you do as well, thank you so much for organizing. I know how it's difficult. Yes, but it's really great when we come together, when we pray together in such meditations as Field of Love as well, that I'm providing. Every week you can join us on Tuesday, on Thursday at 8 p.m. in the evening. So you're very welcome. It's free to join. And also I'm providing the feminine circles that's on weekends right now, but very soon we will meet even my teacher who bring in this knowledge, who sharing her all the very ancient healing methods as well. That's very soon from August. I hope we will meet with Rita as well at one of the events and to share it with more beautiful women, because you all deserve to be healthy, to be happy, to realize your potential fully. And this is exactly when we meet in such teacher who can, you know, give us this help, this protection, you know, in our strength. Because from beginning, I was not so brave as I am right now. Totally. I couldn't even look at the camera. I couldn't speak with people. I mean, no, please, not me. But right now I'm so inspired, you know, to share this, to bring all women together. Yes, so very welcome, very welcome. And of course, we each of us bringing something, you know, good to this world, something that's very important. And thank you so much for doing what you do, because, you know, feeding for our health, of course, it's important. This is our physical, yes, flesh body that need to move us. And of course, with our spirituality part as well, like this is the food for us. So thank you so much, Rita. I hope I've been during 10 minutes, not more.
Wonderful.
Yes, I will put my context as well.
Please do, Shaina. It's beautiful. And Purnima very rightly says, she goes, it's such a lovely, such a good idea to make your mission your second name, love.
Yes.
And
yes.
we'd all agree that that is the biggest force, you know, we can work with on this earth. And that's one thing that connects each one of us at whatever level we're ready to connect with each other. So brilliant. Thank you so much, Shaina. And I have experienced Shaina's meditation once. She came to one of the events in March and it was really beautiful. So thank you, Shaina. I'm really pleased to be connected with wonderful people. Yeah, everybody. We have next, we've got Carol, the lady who gets kisses from everyone.
Hello, thank you. Hi. So a little bit about me. I started in my entrepreneurial walk at the age of 62. I will be 65 in December, and I am loving life. I suffered with chronic fatigue syndrome for 9 years, from 2009. In 2017, my husband was diagnosed with prostate cancer, and I wasn't sure how I was going to look after him, me still being in CFS, chronic fatigue syndrome. Prior to that, I worked for many organizations for 45 years in total. So I retired at 60, early retirement, voluntary redundancy from a local authority where I was the energy officer. So I've worked for numerous companies over the years and built up pensions, as it were, which I'll get onto that later. But the thing that got me out of chronic fatigue and the thing that started me on my natural health journey was the fact that ill health was running through my family. My husband's one of 7 boys, 3 with prostate cancer, all surviving, praise God. So my sponsor in my natural health walk is a holistic coach, and he recommended some natural health products that I used. And okay, everybody is different, but for me, after 2.5 months of taking it, I was out of chronic fatigue syndrome. And I only mentioned it to him, even though we'd been connected for nearly 2 years, is because I was frantic, wondering how I'd look after my husband when he came out of surgery and was back home. He was looking after me all this time, and now I was supposed to look after him. So, you know, that's what made me mention my own health conditions. So yes, and this is me now, and I am loving life, as I say. You know, I find as I get older, I become more adventurous. So having been heavily involved in natural health, and I still am, I now combine physical health with financial health. And this is where I want to major on. So, how many people know about gold? And I'm sure a lot of us do. We look at it, jewelry. Yeah. However, 24 karat gold is classed as money. 24 karat gold bullion is classed as money. Anything below that is classed as jewelry and scrap gold. So I have joined an international gold saving business with 3 options: save gold, save and earn, and maximize your earning potential. And this, I don't know if you can see it properly, that gold bar is 24 karat gold. And that 24 karat gold bar is 1/10 of a gram. So you can exchange this, a declining currency, for this, an appreciating asset. I don't know how many of you are aware that the Bank of England governor said that in March, Britain nearly went bust. That was featured in the Guardian newspaper. Right now, the UK is 300 billion in deficit. One of the most disturbing things I heard recently was that in Birmingham, John Lewis, the flagship of Grand Central, is closing. Where is it going to end? When I started my working career, I would have been drawing a pension at 55. I now have to work till, well, if I was in that 9 to 5 arena, would have had to work till I'm 66 to get my state pension. My husband, because he's younger than me, has to wait till he's 68. It's a moving goalpost. If you are on a pension, what is your pensionable age, state pension age? These are things that should concern us. And the reason I got involved in this is because you have the opportunity with a free gold saving account to actually save gold as a hedge against inflation. I feel deeply about this because we're not taught these things at school. When you invest your money in the banks, they save it or they invest it for their shareholders in land, art, property, and gold. So why can't we do the same for ourselves? If you go on goldprice.org and look at the gold over, say, an 18-year period, you'll be shocked to see how it actually appreciates in value. You know, the gold here, this is a 1 gram gold ingot, which is has DNA features and blue light authenticity. It's London Bullion Market Association accredited refineries, and the gold is 24 karat 999.9 purity. Everybody has an opportunity. You can exchange this £20 note for 4/10 of a gram of gold. Imagine 10 of these will make you a gram, will get you a gram. Even if you saved £5.50, which is what this is worth at today's price, if you save 10 of those, you will have a gram. 31.5 of those, you will have an ounce. An ounce of gold today is hitting around $1,800 US. When I started, a tenth of a gram was just over £4. Now it's about £5.50. It's on the increase. And during this situation that we are in with our economy, think to yourself, where is it going to end? Where will we be in 10, 15 years' time? If we have another lockdown, I mean, the devastation that we've seen so far has been a rude awakening. A lot of businesses are going to the wall, sadly. But think to yourself, what are you shoring up for your future, for your bloodline? With this account, you can have up to 5 beneficiaries. 5. It's free. There's also an opportunity. If you want to get involved in the business, it's a referral marketing space. It's an ecosystem that also has crypto as well. But the main ethos of the founder was that everyone, not just the wealthy, should be able to own gold. You know, since 2001 to 2020, 16 out of those 18 years, gold has been on the up. You know, we need to take back control of our own resources rather than leave it for the bank. My bank gives me 0.01%. Gold on average, 13.2%. So I want you to do a quick exercise. If you were to save £5 a day for 365 days in the year, how much do you think that would equate to? Well, I'll tell you, just for time, £1,825. Okay, if you were to do that for 40 years, £73,000. And that's at today's value. Now imagine if you use the compound calculator and you times that by 11%, which is less than it's averaging right now. The current principal of 1,825 annually for 40 years, interest at 11%, will give you a value of £1,180,459. Think about it. If you can save £5 a day, what do we spend £5 on? If you can save £5 a day, £5 a week, £5 fortnightly, or £5 a month, you are still getting your feet on the ladder. I have Afsval, he's a student in Huddersfield. He's jumped on the bandwagon. He's saving £5.50 a month because as a student, that's all he can afford to do. My son has just finished his uni course with a £57,000 debt. We've got to think of our future, our children, their future. The younger you start, the better. I was 64 when I started, never too old. Never too old to get your head in the right place. Financial education. I can advise everyone to go on YouTube and look at Mike Maloney, The Hidden Secrets of Money. Robert Kiyosaki, okay, his book called Fake, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He said that gold, in his book Fake, gold is God's money because it comes from the earth. Think about our future. Don't let it be done to us. Let us take control of what we can. And this is something we can take control of. So I have much to say about that. We have webinars twice a week on a Monday evening and a Friday evening at 7:30. So if anyone is interested in finding out more, then please get in touch. As I say, you can make earnings through referring other people. I don't sell gold, I buy it, and this is mine, all mine.
Where do you live, Carol?
Sorry?
You've got a bit of gold, where do you live?
Actually, I've got 10 of these. I've got 10 of these on the way because the delivery partner is FedEx. So they will store it for free for you. When you want it, you call for it and FedEx will deliver it directly to your door. It's insured while it's in storage. It's insured during transit. When you take control of it, it's your responsibility to insure it. But I will be eternally grateful for the person who actually got me into this. So
very
that's
very
it.
eye-opening, very eye-opening. And financial education is so important. Forget talking about the age, Carol. You know how much I envy you for your skin and your glow that you carry and whatever. She said she was 62. I could not believe it. That was a couple of years ago, wasn't it? And she's so full of energy and enthusiasm as well herself, bless her. But Carol, yeah, with financial education, it's a shame that we're not taught that in schools, and we are taught history and stuff like science, which most people would not probably use later in their lives. But we, put so much emphasis. And I used to teach science, and some of my students would say to me, children who were not, we all different capabilities. Children who were not very interested, they say, "Miss, I'm never going to use this. Why are you teaching me this?" So what can you say? It was a part of the curriculum. But thank you very much for that, Carol. Very enlightening. And we have Tracy next, who is also going to talk about financial education, which I believe is truly important for all of us. So over to you, Tracy.
Thank you, Ritu. Could I have the screen to share, please?
Yeah, sure.
So firstly, just thank you so much, Ritu, for creating this platform on the WhatsApp group, and then also creating a space where we can all see each other face to face during this lockdown and sort of share our businesses and what we're doing. I'm just going to share the screen with you. I decided to put a topic towards what I wanted to talk about today. Yes, I do work with an organisation called Star. And one of the reasons why I got involved was because this question kind of came to me when I was taking a look at the business for the second time. And it was, how important is it to have a level of integrity with ourselves? And for that, what that meant for me, I'll tell you a bit about my background. Just like most people, my parents are immigrants. They came here from Jamaica. I was born here. And they expected me to be able to access a kind of life that they didn't have. So in terms of, you go to school, you get a good education, you go to university. And I did most of that. You get a good job for life. I followed the plans that they had for me, even though I had my daughter quite early. I've got a 24-year-old and a 10-year-old. I followed the plans that they had for me. And around 10 years into that, I started to think to myself, well, I feel like this is not working for me. This is not really what I see my life playing out as. This is not really where I see my life going. And for me, my children are really important to me. And I thought, well, if I'm going to encourage them to live their dreams, to follow what goals they want to achieve, how will they do that if they don't see me at least attempting that myself? So there's various things that I've done in the last 10 years, since around 2000, longer than 10 years, since around 2003, when I was made redundant from my job. I have been working my own business since then. I've run a business in health and wellness, which is another really, really important industry, because if we don't look after ourselves, then how are we able to achieve what we want to achieve out of life? So when I came across the financial education, I had asked myself this question. And to be honest, I wasn't really being honest with myself in relation to how I was doing with money and my understanding of money. When we become adults, we're introduced to a world where we have to work, we earn an income, the income goes on living expenses, on mortgages, our income goes on maybe savings as well. But when we've never been educated on how to actually use our money to plan for our future. So one of the things that I said to myself was, when I decided that I was going to be honest with myself, and I realized that I couldn't do it on my own, because we haven't been taught about money in school, one of the things for me was looking at, well, who can I learn from? And as Carol said, there are amazing, successful people that we can learn from. Mike Maloney, absolutely love him. I would definitely say watch the videos. They were real eye-openers. And then The thing about money, a lot of the time when it's been explained to us, it's been done with such complicated language that people kind of switch off and don't understand. But what I love about people like Mike Maloney and Robert Kiyosaki is that they break it down so that you can understand it, and not just that, so that you can apply it. But how many of us have actually heard of these people, read their books? I mean, I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad way before I started actually doing anything about my financial journey. So it's also about the steps that we start to take towards what we want to achieve. And what happened to me, I went to a presentation where I saw some information about what Genostar does, who is the organisation that I now work alongside. And it opened my eyes to the fact of that I can take practical steps to move myself financially in the direction that I wanted to move into. So one of the things that I wanted to share was this quote from Darren Hardy. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of the book called The Compound Effect. It's a really, really good book. And one of the things he says in there is you cannot manage or improve something until you measure it. And for me, when I looked at my finances, yes, money goes into your bank. Yes, you have your bank account, which you may look at, but was I actually measuring where I am financially and where I want to be? So for me, that was something that was highlighted to me and became very important. But how would I do that? So one of the things that I also said to myself is, if I'm having these struggles with money, with understanding it, knowing how to work it, how to use it, who else is needing educating about money? Now, I believe, like Ritu said, that it should start from school. And I have been into schools with what I do, my son's school. And I've also been into Legacy, which is a youth zone in Croydon. And I've sat with 16 to 19-year-olds and explained to them what it's like going through that transition, as we've all gone through, from being a child to being an adult and what that involves. I'm quite fortunate, I feel, because my daughter's 24. She's moved out she's got her own place. But what I did was I equipped her with what my parents didn't equip me with. And not because probably they didn't know about it because they were going through it themselves, but probably because they thought someone else would do it. So I ensured that she understood the importance of knowing how to manage her money, of understanding what bills you have to pay. And I did that with the young people at the Legacy Zone. And it was a real eye-opener that a lot of them didn't know about rent, council tax, TV license, utility bills, all the things that we have to end up paying out for. Now, when you are paying out for those things, what then happens to you being able to work towards your goals and your dreams that you want to achieve? A lot of people have to put them aside because there's not enough coming in to support those as well at the same time. So that's what made me ask the question about, if I needed educating, then it's likely that other people need educating about money. And who else is looking for practical money management planning, or I like to call it money intelligence rather than financial intelligence. So this is why I work with Genostar. And what Genostar does is it provides opportunities for people to learn, apply and teach debt freedom and financial independence to themselves as well as to the families across the UK. So what I do is I show people through planning and educating them. So I educate them on some of the concepts we teach. I then show them how to create financial game plans, which looks at firstly where they are financially and where they want to be financially. And then we help them map on how to get to that destination. Now, Carol mentioned retirement. You know, it's really astounding. If anybody's ever heard of Elle Nightingale, the title has completely gone out of my mind of what his audio that he plays. But it's a really good audio. I'll find it and type it in. And he talks about a lot of people, by the time they reach retirement age, 95% of us either end up broke or still working. And only 5% of people end up with being financially independent or wealthy. And that is something that I feel needs to be changed, and people need to be educated on that, because 95% of us are still, and you see it around. When the other day I saw a guy pushing one of those bin carts, he looked like he was in his late 60s, early 70s. So we see it every day when we go in the supermarkets, that there's more mature people that are working there now, because the pension's just not going far enough. But it's not just about pension. We want to enjoy life now as well. So it's about the money journey that we are going on throughout our lives. And what I love about Jenna Star is it's not just a one meeting with that family. We take them and we go on their journey with them throughout their lives. Okay, so I just wanted to show you this quote, and this quote is from Napoleon Hill, who's somebody else who I've also learned a lot about and read a lot of his books as well. And he says, when you are able to maintain your own standards of integrity, regardless of what others do, you are destined for greatness. And for me, that was where I took ownership and said to myself, well, if I'm going to be honest about where I am financially, I can now help other people to be honest about where they are and where they want to be financially. And what I love about our organisation is that we train and educate us, so people don't have to come from financial backgrounds, but they can learn what we do and apply it to their own lives, so that their children learn about money from them, and to help other people apply it to their lives, so that we can change our communities and have what we do expand out. So I'm Tracy. I will put my contact details in the bottom if anyone wants to speak to me about what we do. We also have a free download, which is our Chief Executive, Jeff Letts. This practical guide is called Your Journey to Financial Freedom, and it can be downloaded as an ebook. So if anyone would like a copy of that, please let me know. If anyone would like to come onto one of our webinars where you can find out more about the business opportunity, as well as how we educate the families, you've been welcome to come on those. We run those 7 days a week. One of the things that I've realized as well with regards to what's happened now with the coronavirus is the impact that it's had on people in two areas: housing and employment. As Carol said earlier, we are seeing every day businesses fold, redundancies looming, increasing. You know, those are people's incomes. Those are what people are relying on day to day to help them get through. So for me, what I do is so important now. And it was important when I started doing it, and it will continue to be important, because money is important to all of us. We all need it in order for us to live a certain standard of life. So that's me. Thank you. I hope I didn't go over 10 minutes.
Now you're fine, Tracy. That was wonderful. Thank you ever so much. Thank you for this. And yeah, that, totally agree with what you've said, and very powerful what you're doing, because as we were saying earlier, financial education, and I came across an acronym, it's FIQ, which I'd never heard of before, and I'm 43. It's financial intelligence quotient, like emotional intelligence, like, you know, we talk about IQ otherwise. And so I do realize many women especially don't tend to, you know, go deeper into the financial aspects and look out for themselves and plan out their finances and future, etc. And I have been guilty of that myself in the past. I am learning, and I know many people are, you know, learning, and it's so important, the sort of stuff yourself and Carol are doing, bringing people towards, you know, more awareness. Money is important, and unfortunately, for whatever beliefs we might have or blocks we might have created for ourselves in the past, we carry on believing that it's going to be all right. I just need to focus on this aspect. Money, you know, will take care of itself, and it doesn't. So it's wonderful what you're doing. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, do I need to make you back the host?
Yes, please, if that's okay. Yeah.
Oh, I've clicked Carol instead of you. Hold on. Change host.
We look similar, that's why. I've got Carol's beauty. That's why.
It's now not working. Hold on.
Oh, okay, it's okay. I'll carry on talking. So that's that, ladies. So this is all my wonderful speakers. And I think I've given a shout out to all people I've worked with so far, apart from Audrey. I have worked very closely with Audrey at one point as well, and Audrey's been a speaker at one of my events in the past. And personally as well, I've had one-to-one sessions with Audrey, and it's been fantastic. So if you're looking into something of the sort, please get in touch with Audrey. We also, we had a question for you, Carol, from Purnima on the group, and she wants to know that. So she says, great idea, Carol, but does that the price of gold will skyrocket and money needed to stimulate the economy for progress of all will be withdrawn from the national circular flow of income, thereby shrinking economic development? So what would you say to that?
Let me see if I can see the chat.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So gold has been used as money for nearly 3,000 years. It's not new. But when we have a financial crisis, as the devaluing fiat currency, which is what we call paper currency, not money, it's paper, it's currency. When we have a situation like this where we've got economic free fall, gold will automatically, the price of gold or the value of gold will go up as a result. But gold has been used as money for nearly 3,000 years. In the ancient days, Romans wouldn't go to war unless they were paid in gold, because they knew the value of gold as opposed to the value of currency. And there is a difference. So in terms of, and think about it, if our banks, you cannot buy gold from the banks, you can buy it from the Royal Mint, you can buy it from other places, but banks don't sell gold. They buy it to invest for their shareholders.
That's right. It's a security.
It doesn't stop them doing that.
It's a security they are statutorily required to hold.
Yeah.
Because they have to assure their clients that they have gold backups to match the kind of money that is in circulation.
Yes. Wonderful. Thank you for that. And it was prior to 1971, when Richard Nixon took it off the gold standard, your note would say, I promise to pay the bearer in gold. That was removed as a temporary measure 49 years ago. Temporary.
True. My only issue is that if everybody starts doing this, because when you do a circular, this is simple economics, that when you do a circular flow of income, the idea is to expand that circular flow to such an extent that it touches every individual. And today, when we talk of sustainable development goals, the main objective being development should leave no one behind. So the greater the expanse of the circular flow of income, it is more likely to touch the marginalized and benefit them also. But the moment the ones who can afford it, they start buying gold, they don't get more gold. They actually, because of the demand being more than the supply, gold prices will again go through the roof. They will end up getting less gold, but they will also end up shrinking the economy. The circular flow of income will shrink. And then, the benefit for all, the universal benefit opportunity would be lost, which in any case would have benefited everybody, and which shows up in your, the stock exchange, etc., which also shows up in real estate, because people do invest in real estate also. However, in times like COVID, gold definitely is the only thing that one would be thinking of parking one's funds in, but it is parking. It doesn't, the stimulus that the world needs today is not going to come out of our buying gold. That was my only point. And gold is always shoring up against contingency and, against hardships. So, so long as the economy, there is a trust deficit, we will continue to invest in gold. But that is not the kind of world that we are looking at. We want a world where we can trust each other, and my spending becomes someone else's income, which means there's a huge positive multiplier impact. And that is the stimulus we need. So my take on this is that so long as we can decentralize and do skill development, which will help, people at absolute grassroots level. I come from a very touristy state in north of India. That's Himachal Pradesh, which was, so what we are trying to do over here is decentralize tourism, which is our mainstay and which is rather difficult to reactivate during COVID times. So we are still trying in a calibrated manner so that the stimulus from tourism, which is one of the biggest employers of the world, that stimulus reaches the grassroots, it reaches every village, and people are willing to go to homestays. They may not want to go to a hotel at all. So cautious baby steps are being taken towards that, so that, you know, these little mushrooms of stimuli, economic stimuli, it boosts the entire economy at one go. So
can I say ours is a decentralized system, which
yes.
is audited. And the thing is, if everybody, and that's why the passion of the founder was that everybody on the planet, no one should get left behind. Now, if everybody's able to maximize the opportunity to actually save an appreciating asset from £5, everybody has that opportunity. Everyone.
That is true. So it's a matter of how do you invest your savings to maximize your own, for, you know, you're shoring yourself against hardships.
Yes. Exchanging this for one of these.
Yeah.
£5 a week, yeah.
At our festivals, the banks actually do sell these. So a lot of people buy these for gifting also and for keeping as investment savings, especially festivals like Diwali, which a lot of participants here would know about. So it's a choice. It's a personal choice.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you. That's great. Thank you. Any other questions for any other speakers? Anyone? Please feel free to ask if you've got any. No.
The screen back first, Ritu, but it's not allowing me. The 3 dots are only coming up with chat or pin video.
What are you trying to do, hun?
Oh, give you the screen back.
It's okay. I'm not going to share anything. We can just carry on. We'll just leave at the end. Yeah. Is that okay? That's fine. Don't stress yourself over it. It's all good. It's all good. Right, ladies. I also wanted to ask for if you think of anything other than what we're doing at the moment, some other ideas around, you know, creating workshops like this or creating online events. For now, we will definitely go live when we're allowed and ready to do that, social gatherings, etc. But until that time, if you think of an idea which you feel would be beneficial for many women here, abroad, anywhere around we connected with, I'd be more than happy to organize it and, you know, bring that idea forward. So let me know if you think of something positive, something you think, you know, can help other people as well. Something like what we're doing today. I have learned a lot, and I'll be honest, I've not understood everything we've discussed about financial stuff here. I'm learning, I'm trying to. Therefore, the need, you know, as I said, I'm hosting a webinar for FIQ, and it's a gentleman who's quite popular here in the UK, and he's done great stuff in the financial fields, and he's generated a lot of money for himself and for people who work with him. But it's not a business event. He's not going to sell anything, and we're not going to do any of the sales things. It's purely for education. It's purely for people like myself, if anything, who don't understand many of these aspects of, you know, managing finances, etc., investments, and thereon. So it's purely educational, and I have had to chase him for some time to come and do a webinar with me just for women. And because he's a man, he was like, why can't men come in? It's no, this one's just for women. What we do is just for women. So he's agreed finally. And so I'm organizing that, and I will obviously keep you guys posted on that too. But if there's any other ideas you'd like to share, please feel free to do that. I'm also looking for an MC to, you know, conduct these events for us. So if you know of someone who might be interested, we can't pay for all the events I'd be holding, but we will pay for the ones we funded for. So it depends. It probably will be an on and off kind of a paid job. But the events and the webinars and the projects we funded for, we definitely pay the person working for us. and the ones we aren't, it'd be voluntary. So it's somebody who's passionate about, you know, the sort of work we do. This is opportunity, great opportunity for learning and making connections as well. So if you know of someone who'd be, you know, in that sort of energy, like to work with us, I'd be more than happy to connect with the person. So please let me know. And I think I've said about the FIQ workshop and the WhatsApp group as well. So if you know of people who can benefit from the work we do, what we are about, please feel free to introduce them to us and vice versa. And I think that's all from me for now. If anyone of you has to say something, please go ahead.
What an amazing event, Ritu.
Thank you.
Thank you to all the speakers as well. It's brightened up the morning. Seriously, wonderful.
Thank you so much. And it's always lovely to, you know, connect with new people. As I said earlier, it's always great to bring on people who are ready to learn, because it's all about learning, really.
Thanks, Ritu. It's evening time here. Thank you very much.
And I am very well connected with Himachal, Purnimaji, because my dad used to own 2 hotels in Dalhousie. So my childhood,
really?
yeah, summer holidays we used to spend in Dalhousie, more or less.
How
So
lovely.
That was our holiday.
Yeah, it's often called Dalhousie, but I think it's beautiful. It's certainly not dull. It's so beautiful. It has that road which is like a figure of 8.
That's
half
right.
of it is north facing, and half of it is south facing. And then you have this beautiful glade called Khajiar, 28 kilometers.
Yes.
And which is compared, it was called mini Switzerland by the Swiss ambassador himself.
Okay, lovely, lovely. But yeah,
Very
it's a
pretty.
beautiful place. I've got some great memories from there. I used to love going there. Very peaceful place.
Himachal is generally very peaceful, lesser known, which is its USP now. And as Secretary Culture, I had the good fortune to be able to leverage cultural resources for getting people to understand Himachal better.
Lovely. And see,
get experiential tourism.
It's a lady talking. I just feel so proud. Just because it's a lady talking about stuff. Thank you very much, Purnimaji, for connecting with us today.
Thank you, Ritu. Lovely experience, and thank you to all the speakers.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. And Purnimaji, could you please leave me your contact number as well so we can connect?
I will, most certainly.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Hey, Prasanna, did you join late?
Yeah, I just joined because I had some consultations and I was so running busy, but I said at least 10 minutes, it's fine. You know, I can just say hi and everyone. I know the session was going to be conducted, and I also remember something related to arts activity. You had sent me the details.
Right.
I'm working on it, and very soon I will send you the video. So I don't have brief information about the present meeting today, but if you're able to just WhatsApp me or just put all about it.
We've got a recording of this, Prasanna, so if you send me a text, I can email it to you.
Yeah, I will just have a look into it. That's nice. Thank you.
Okie dokie, ladies. See you soon then. Bye for now. Have a great rest of the day. My pleasure.
Hi, Rituji. Hello. Hi, this is Shruti. Hi.
Hi, Shruti. Hello.
Hello. Hi. How are you? Lovely to join your meeting, and it's a great conversation. And I would like to connect that lady. She just explained about that gold business, and if possible, please.
Gold business. Carol, that's yourself.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yes, Carol, put your number there, please, in the chat. If you
can. I just, if possible, if you do you know any leads? Export-import business, how to, I just need to know that knowledge more about that. If possible, if you could arrange any seminar or session for.
Shruti, are you on the group? Are you on the WhatsApp group with us?
Not yet, because
okay, so if you leave me your number, I can add you, and we can, or you can message me one-to-one as well, and then we can keep connected there, yeah? Okay. Jenny, you were going to say something, sorry.
I was going to say, if everybody goes to the chat, and at the side of where the conversation is, there's 3 little dots. If they click on that, they can save the chat that's in the group, so that it'll save it to their computer wherever they are now. You can only do it on a computer. Click on the 3 dots, it'll save the chat, and then all the contact details.
Excellent. Thank you. See, we're learning. Thank you, Jenny. That's wonderful. Thank you so
really
much.
good to know.
All down.
So will you be sending the this recording of this on the link here, or
If no, I'll only send it to people who ask for it, Prasanna. So if you want it, could you text me and I'll email it to you?
I'll send you a text. Then,
Okay,
yeah.
lovely. Okay, okay. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot.
Thank you.
Tracy, can you please stop this meeting and we'll all leave?
Hello, hold on a minute, Juliet. Sorry, Ritu, go on.
Sorry, I just said end the meeting and we'll just leave.
Yeah, will it record and come to you?
Yes, it will.
Okay, all right, I'll do it
I
now.
believe so. Yeah.
There we go. Bye, everyone. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Thank you, Ritu.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you.